Good evening, hello and welcome to the Saudi Arabia Snooker Masters, where it is day 6 and it was always going to be a special day because of the last 16 left in. There are 15 world titles shared between them. 4 world champions going this evening, 3 went this afternoon, and there was one particular match which we like to call Best of Frenemies.
Judd Trump is back on top of the world rankings and very much in prime form. That was crystal clear as the ace in the pack ruthlessly overcame best pal Jack Lisowski. Immediately into overdrive, Trump set the tone by firing in a 126 break in the opening frame, and he finished off with 2 more centuries. Next up for Trump, a quarter-final against Neil Robertson.
So the Judd Trump safely through, proving why he is the world #1. And look at that for a quarter-final. He'll be facing Neil Robertson, dominant against Gary Wilson. Any questions about whether he's back? Absolutely vanquished. And as for the other quarter-final that we know, it's Shaun Murphy against Zhao Guodong. Shaun Murphy has positively moonwalked his way through the tournament so far. And Zhao Guodong against Scott Donald. It was 5-4 to the Scot, 5-all, and then it went to a final thing special in the air. Ronnie O'Sullivan will be playing in just a few moments. We've even added extra seats, such is the demand for Ronnie O'Sullivan. But Stephen, let's talk about Judd Trump. What a difference a day makes.
Absolutely. You know, yesterday he was looking a bit rough for Judd, wasn't it? 4-0 down. He's planning his route home, shall we say? But he somehow turned it around. And you know, today he played a lot better. You know, he started a lot quicker. He looked more in rhythm. He found his flow. And it's what the best players in the world do. They just find a way.
And one of those best players is definitely Neil Robertson, because there were questions about his form a couple of seasons ago. No longer the case now. He is back.
Yeah, there's been question marks about Neil, but you can just cancel that now because he's come through 2 really tough matches. He's beaten Mark Selby. He gave Gary Wilson the treatment today, proper treatment. You know, he's seen him off with ease. It wouldn't be a surprise to see Neil go far in this event, but he's got a very tough match against Judd tomorrow. And
just a word for Shaun Murphy, because again, we mentioned before, his chest's out, he's walking with confidence. He's called the magician for a reason. We're seeing magic already.
He absolutely loves it, doesn't he? That's what he does. He just loves it, and he'll be thoroughly excited and be really up for doing well in a big event like this. You know, he's an entertainer by nature. It's in him to entertain, and he's always going to be there or thereabouts.
And just to complete the set was, as we said earlier, Zhao Guodong. What a battling performance from him. But that's behind us now. The big question is, who will they be playing? Well, at the end of play tonight, we'll know exactly who will be joining them. And I'll tell you what, it doesn't get much better than this. Right at the very top there, the reigning world champion Karen Wilson takes on the lowest ranked player left in the tournament in Jimmy Robertson. It is the 3 times world champion Mark Williams facing the 2015 world champion Stuart Bingham. It's Ronnie O'Sullivan, the man who requires no introduction, against the only player who managed a 5-0 whitewash in round 5, and then it's the all-Chinese affair of Si and Pang. So, Stephen, on the spot, looking at that graphic there, which match, apart from the TV table, stands out to you?
Williams and Bingham is obviously the standout, isn't it? You know, 2 unbelievable players, 2 world champions. How Bingham came through that match last night against Ding in the circumstances was quite otherworldly, shall we say. It was an anomaly. But as well, Karen Wilson, Jimmy Robertson has gone under the radar a little bit. It'd be interesting to see how Karen continues his suite. He's a world champion for a reason, and he will definitely take some stopping.
Absolutely right. As will Zhang Anda, because the TV table is Ronnie O'Sullivan against Zhang Anda. And for the uninitiated, people might think Zhang Anda, not necessarily a household name like Ronnie O'Sullivan, but he is a man who could turn Ronnie over. He is a class player.
Well, regardless of their previous head-to-heads, you know, Ronnie leads it 3-2, but the last 2 meetings have both gone to Zhang. If you look at last night's performance, that was a joke. To make 3-1, 3-8, so 1-2-8 and a 50. Ben Wollaston's done well to score 15 points in that match. It was an unbelievable performance.
It really was preposterous. Is there pressure on him to try and repeat that on the TV table?
I suppose you could look at it that way. It'd be very unlikely that he'd actually be able to perform that well again, because where do you improve from that? But if he can take the confidence from that match from last night, he's definitely got a shout tonight.
And as for Ronnie O'Sullivan, has looked impervious to this point. Certainly, if not the favourite, one of the favourites to once again lift this gorgeous trophy.
And it's what we expect, isn't it? You know, Ronnie is a showman. He loves it. He's loved wherever he plays in the world. And again, like you say, the crowds to come out for him. We all want to see Ronnie O'Sullivan. What Ronnie's going to turn up tonight, right-handed, left-handed, right-footed, whatever it is, he's going to be here and he's going to be putting on a performance.
He is. That's what he does. He is a showman in every single department, as are all of the players who will be competing. There are 8 of them. They need to be brought out. So let's hand to our MC, Tajay Jajat.
Masa al Khair, welcome to the Saudi Arabia Snooker Masters! A great crowd in this evening as we look to find out who our 4 final quarter-finalists will be. It's time to get our players to the table. Up first on table number 4, please welcome Pang Jun-Su and Si Zhaoui. On table number 3, 2 former world champions, Stuart Bingham versus the world spotting machine, Mark Williams. On table number 2, it's Jimmy Robertson versus the reigning champion of the world, the warrior, Kyron Wilson. And his opponent is a 41-time ranking event champion. Please welcome the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
This is going to be a special evening of snooker. So without further ado, let's hand to our commentary team for this evening of Stephen Holworth and David Hendon.
You won the toss.
Ronnie O'Sullivan has already won a record 23 prestigious Triple Crown events. Can he add the game's new major title to his glittering array of trophies? Well, first of all, he's got to get past Zhan,
Ronnie O'Sullivan to break,
who's had the most extraordinary year. In many ways, it started with his defeat of O'Sullivan at the English Open last year. Reached the final there, lost to Judd Trump, beat O'Sullivan at the International Championship, won that title, got to the final of the Players' Championship, was very poor at the Crucible, but last night produced the performance of the tournament. 4 total clearances, including 3 1-3-8s to beat Ben Wollaston 5-0. If he can produce that, he can beat anybody. Question is there extra pressure, centre stage, big crowd playing O'Sullivan? We'll find out. It's best of 11. Looking forward to this one. He's missed one. It wasn't easy. I thought he got that, actually. Just stayed out.
Yeah, that was a brilliant first attempt. Not far away. I was with you there. I thought that was just going to creep in off the near jaw.
one.
So first good chance falls to Ronnie. And he'll be looking to put the pressure on early doors here. He'll know that the last 2 times these players have met, that he has been
8
on the receiving end, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
9.
He'll also know just how well Zhang played yesterday. If Zhan can play like that, no one can stop him. But it's very unlikely that he's going to produce another performance like that. It's very difficult to replicate that high level. Well,
40.
I wouldn't even call it a high level, it's just astronomical level.
Great
15.
picture actually of Ben Wollaston with his arms out as if to say, what's going on? Poor old Ben. He's playing well, wasn't he? But you've got to actually get to the table in this game to play well. And that's why O'Sullivan will be determined here.
Before Ronnie will have his sights set on how best to get into them. It's not the best pack ever to go into from the black, to
30.
be honest. He'd be looking for a half ball contact off the edge if he goes into them from the black.
31.
And there he's come up a little straight. Possibly doesn't have enough angle to try and force that cue ball in. This will be some shot. Well, he's gone the top spin route. It was always going to be difficult. You could see him just gearing up for that one. Long backswing to
38.
generate plenty of cue speed, but he was always going to be a tall order.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 38.
Big night, of course, on the other tables as well. Karen Wilson, the world champion, up against Jimmy Robertson, who he beat. Robertson probably should have beaten him in Zhan. He had chances, but Wilson beat him, of course, won the tournament. Bingham Williams kind of speaks for itself. Heavyweight clash. And Pang Zhengzhu, Si Jiahui, two other real talents from China going head to head. Clash of styles there, I think. Pang is quite a tough character. Si Jiahui likes to sort of get the balls open. But in terms of the crowd, the focus is definitely on this table and on this man at the table. When he won last night, there was quite a spike in ticket sales.
Again, another very tough pot for Zhang Anda to go at. Made a little bit easier by the fact that he knew he wasn't going to be leaving anything. That was a real test of cueing. He didn't seem overly pleased last night, Ronnie, after his win against Lei Paifan, but I thought he played quite well considering it was his first match in the event. I thought he played quite nicely. I know he's such a perfectionist, he's always searching for something that possibly isn't there. We all know how good he can play at his best. He also plays pretty well when he's not at his best.
1.
There's always the chance this can go in, but he holds his hand up. But it's finished pretty nice. Let's be clear, what he did last night was unbelievable. Really was. That feat of break building. Hard to replicate it. Hang on, where's this white? Oh, just about okay. Hard to replicate it, but he might not necessarily have to play that well.
3.
As I say, he's got the 2 wins over O'Sullivan in the last 2 events to look back on. If he can produce a high-quality performance, he's got every chance.
It's not just the numbers that were so impressive, it's the discipline to just carry on continuously, relentlessly when you're at the table. you get to that frames one
4.
target, get to the 100, you know, and you could be forgiven for just playing the odd careless one, just half-heartedly, but he
Yellow
didn't.
ball.
He wanted to clear up every time he came to the table, and that just shows you exactly where he is mentally.
Zhang under 4.
Well, he nearly potted that yellow actually, but he just was stuck on the red, so was playing safe. Remember, this is best of 11 now, and frames duration have gone up. Already got Judd Trump, Neil Robertson and Sean Murphy through, plus Xiao Guodong.